Ahead on Daytime Buffalo, William Mattar law offices are helping animal rescue organizations all month long, and we have information on how you can support their efforts. And later, from cranberry cocktails to pumpkin martinis, we're giving you some drink ideas to go along with your Thanksgiving dinner and desserts. It's all coming up right now on Daytime Buffalo. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. All our sponsors at William Mattar Law Offices are continuing to celebrate Rescue a Shelter Animal Month at their firm. And joining me now for this week's Mattar Help segment with more information on their efforts this month is Peter Mattar. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so happy to be here with Jackie. They're such a great partner every November where we can work to help rescue shelter animals. And so I'm so excited to hear more about how we can help.
That's right. Jackie, why don't you explain to our viewers about Western New York Food for Paws and how this all began?
So it actually began in 2022, and it was kind of an answer to food pantries that had contacted our vice president and said, you know, is there a way, because we were doing like animal rescue before, is there a way that we can get some pet food, because people are coming into the shelter and asking for like extra cans of tuna for their cat and saying that we really don't have enough money to buy all the dog food we need. So we started reaching out. Our first step was Purina, and they were wonderful, so they started bringing us food. And after that, it just started to grow and grow. So the pantries that we first started with was St. Cashmere's out in the city, and they were like overjoyed. And they had some folks there to do testimony and say, you know, how can your organization keep on going? Because one gentleman, he's a retired military, and he's like, I can only decide to either pay a bill or feed my dog every month. Yeah. And his dog was a service dog, and he goes, obviously it's a no-brainer, I'm gonna feed my dog. Oh. So, I mean, it was pulling on our heartstrings, and we're like, okay, we gotta keep going with this. And 3.5 years later, we're still here and going great guns.
Yeah. Let's talk more about, you just gave us an example, but more about the reception and how it's been with local food pantries and the families that they serve, especially during this time where we've been seeing more than ever. Luckily, it seems like we're coming out of this government shutdown, but SNAP benefits have gone away. There's a lot going on, and a lot of families are struggling to put food on the tables for themselves and their human kids. Their dogs are struggling as well. Dogs and cats and all the animals.
Definitely. So, so we see a greater need now. And when we started, we just don't, like I said, just hit a few pantries. We're up to close to 45. Wow. And we are now in 5 counties. So Allegheny, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Erie, and Niagara. And with that being said, I mean, we just take a lot of food to them, and we've kind of bumped up what we're giving. The more we get donated to us, the more we can give to the pantries. Right. So I guess what we're doing now, we're giving them more dog food, and especially cat food. Cat food was the big thing. I mean, we couldn't give them a lot because we never really had a lot. And we did get a grant from Bailey and Friends, which is part of the Golisano group. Great. And that's really helping us give more cat food out to the pantries. But even then, it's just more and more and more. So more people are coming in and asking.
The need is there.
Oh my goodness, it absolutely is. And it doesn't matter what county you're in. I mean, southern tier counties are much poorer, and there's a greater need. But Erie County is the same, and Niagara County. I mean, everybody is really hurting.
Peter, tell us how William Mattar is supporting the efforts of this organization.
Yes, so every November we celebrate Rescue a Shelter Animal Month. And so at William Mattar, we do a couple different fundraising efforts and everything, but we've worked with Western New York Food for Paws every November over the last couple of years. And so we put out donation barrels in our offices so that we can internally fundraise and donate as much as we can to help all these animals in need.
Yeah. Jackie, how has it been expanding this organization so fast to keep up with the needs of the public?
So the bins are phenomenal. We have 50 of them now everywhere, and so we have just a few of us, a handful of us that run around picking up all the donations, but the public is wonderful. So some of the bins are at stores or at vet's offices, grooming salons, William Mattar, and just different organizations, and every couple of weeks when we go to pick up the stuff, there's always donations. And it's donations of cat food, dog food, but sometimes if a person has lost their pet because they passed away, they'll bring in leashes, collars. Any of that kind of stuff is what the pantries ask for, because a lot of times a person will have a pet doesn't have the extra little fluffy things that they need. Toys, especially this time of year. One of the pantries said, could you bring us some toys, because cats and dogs need Christmas too.
Yeah, they do.
So whenever we get donations of toys, I always divvy them up to each pantry so they get a little bit.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, where can our viewers go to figure out where the closest donation drop-off is to them?
So they can go right on our website, Western New York Food for Paws.org, or they can email us at Gmail, Western New York Food for Paws at Gmail. And we're on Facebook also. And they can check all those different locations out. And they're growing in leaps and bounds with the barrel. So chances are a lot of people will say, I saw your barrel, I saw your barrel. And it feels good that people now are starting to recognize that we're out there and that we need to keep growing more. I went yesterday to one place to pick up in Elmwood, actually, Elmwood Village, and the gentleman is like, this is becoming a thing, you know? And he's like, we have customers.
They're catching on.
Yeah, and he said it took a little while. He says, but we have people come in, and I go, oh, what would you like? And they're like, no, we're going to the barrel. We're making a donation. So it's really, really awesome. But we could use more locations. We could use more community help, whether it's an individual, whether it's corporate, any of that stuff just all really helps. And if anybody wants to be creative on doing fundraising for us, we're all in.
Okay, alrighty. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and Peter, thank you so much for bringing this amazing organization on. We know the community can rally together to support in a big way. So if you'd like to learn more about all of the ways our sponsors at William Mattar Law Offices are helping the community, just visit their website at williammattar.com, and you can learn more about Western New York Food for Paws and their collection campaigns by visiting WNY4paws.org. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.